Hello, HG Zaku 2 here for the General's Tent, tyler.provic.ca. Today we're going to have a painting demonstration where Tyler is going to show you how to weather the pants of some 1812 British infantry from Victrix. On to the shoe.
Thanks, Zaku2. This is Tyler Provic from the General's Tent, here to give you a little demonstration of how I weather the pants of these Victrix British Napoleonic infantry that I've painted up as 1812 Incorporated Militia. I wanted the pants to look dusty, like the soldiers had been marching for a long time on a dusty road, and I used a glaze to get that effect. The glaze is made from a mix of tan earth, Vallejo tan earth, Liquitex Matte Medium, and water. At first I mixed the glaze a little too translucent and I had to add more paint. I played with it a bit more, testing it on this rag until I got the right consistency by adding a little bit more of the Vallejo Matte Medium. The consistency itself should be closer to a paint. This is a glaze, not a wash, and we don't want it to be pooling in the recesses and the folds of the cloth or in between the legs. We want a smooth, even layer, which we will then build up using multiple passes to create a transition from the relatively clean upper thigh area going down into a dustier lower leg and boot. So covering the boot as well, going in multiple passes in order to build up the color and prevent there from being a harsh transition line. So this is the second pass here. One of the things that makes this a lot more efficient and quicker than it sounds when I talk about having to do multiple passes is a fairly small area we're painting. We can be pretty loose. I'm using a big brush. I'm pretty loose with my brush strokes, and I have multiple figures mounted. I've created these handles using empty candy containers that I put weights in, and I hot glue the popsicle stick, hot glue the figures to the popsicle stick. It allows me to work on multiple miniatures at once without picking up and putting down quite as many miniatures as if they were mounted singly. Depending on how I want the how tight I want the figures, I'll mount 3 or 2 to a handle, and then I'll have a couple of these on the go at one time. In this case, I was feeling like I didn't want to deal with having the figures really close together, so I mounted them widely spaced, and it allowed me to get in their sides pretty easily. So this is a third or fourth coat here. The color is starting to build up, as you can see. It's a little bit difficult to tell when it's wet, so it's good to let it dry before deciding if you need to come back, and just let it build up. Start by covering more area, cover a little less each time, and because the glaze is translucent, there won't be a harsh transition, a harsh line between the colors. These are Wargame figures, so I'm not taking a lot of time on them. It's just a kind of a quick and dirty effect to give them that dusty look. If I was doing a collector standard display model, this is a similar technique I would use. Perhaps not as thick in consistency, viscosity paint, but still very translucent, even more translucent than this, and slowly build up layer after layer until you get what you want. So I hope this was a useful video for you. Hope you can try it on your own figures. Make them dusty. If you go for a darker color, it'll make it a little bit more muddy. Basically, mud is usually darker than dust or dirt or dried mud. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment. Let me know what you'd like to see in the future. This has been Tyler Provic from the General's Tent, tyler.provic.ca. Have a great day.